Hello! Hello! How are we all? Oh, I see Junkies already in the chat. Hey ho everyone, how you doing? Sound okay? Volume okay? We alive? Yeah. Sweet! Why does it always say it's exiting host mode? I never get that, but there we go. Gotta love that. Gotta love it. What a charm, man. Junkie again. You can't get rid of me. Lol. Yeah, I was 2 minutes late. I was replying to a thread on the people who made the bot. We're having a heated discussion over what's right and what's wrong, which is quite funny because he disagrees with what I say and I disagree with what he says. So it's quite funny. The joys, eh? Right, so we're back to, what are we on now? Fourth one? I think we're on, are we on the fourth one? Or the third one? I think we're on the fourth one, mission, the fourth task on here. Soon find out. Soon find out. Right, continue. yesterday 330 messages went through my chat. Freaking hell. It's a little bit of information.
No, the game is afoot. Not a word. Into your clothes and come. I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Ah, go on. Let's finish talking. This is the new one, Junkie. This is the new one. We haven't started this one yet. Only just literally loaded it in. Toby!
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
Letter. Let's have a look at the letter.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter. A wax seal with the monogram E.B. The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
Dear Mr. Holmes, needed assistance. That's still not good. I beg you not to lose an instant. Difficult search state. Inspector Lestrade's letter. Let's have a look.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense.
Like a printer.
Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
Interesting morning. You ain't gone anywhere without a hat, sunshine. Ooh, letter. Ooh. Posh. Go get a hat. Go on. Come on, you scruff bag. Oh no, wrong one. One hat. We are here.
Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great
Typical
value.
top hat.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is
like
dead,
that
then?
Holmes is a bit
Yes.
mad in the head.
His head was
Yeah,
knocked
he's
in with
mad
his
in the
own
head. Why?
poker.
Because
A
I'm controlling him.
violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right. I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Very good, Watson. 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 Right, let's go. Let's go and have a look. What we got in here?
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself.
Wow,
My
look at
name
that
is Sherlock
black eye.
Holmes.
Damn.
I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Couldn't attempt to deny it with that shine, love. Look at the state on that. Look at that freaking eye. Bah. Heck, what a shiner. Missing something? Oh, his face, I think. Round we go. Oh, there we go. There it is. I know, it's bad, isn't it?
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had hurt them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed.
If we're going by
One of
game
them,
eye
the
contact,
elder one struck him a terrible blow.
she
with
looks
the
like
poker.
she's telling a lie.
I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
But we can't go on the game features of eyes and stuff because that won't work.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard. But you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk. And he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
Dark moods? Are you serious?
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Your ladyship? Hello, hello, hello. God, you look happy, love. Smile.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir. As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate.
An Aussie!
But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Let's go down.
My mistress is very tired. Can't you allow her to her room?
No. I would say something fishy is here, indeed. Something is amiss. Less than a fortnight ago, the infamous spirit goes Randall's. Oh, look, hang on. Something not right here. I'm reading this. Something don't smell right.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Very interesting. T.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
Ooh, safe.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
Oh yeah, Junkie, I got a new graphics card coming on. Just so I mentioned. If you're
Lady
wondering,
Brackenstall,
if you're
could
wondering
you
which
open
one,
this wall safe?
look in Discord in the
No,
general
it
chat.
is my
I
husband's
posted
safe.
the offer I
do
got.
not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship? Let us try to open this safe.
Oh.
This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
Okay. What? Why are you saying Mike? Nice offer though. Yeah, scumbag. I want to get the 960. It's not a bad offer considering it comes from it's on eBuyer in the UK. And it comes with an SSD. Free SSD. So I was like, well, and it's got money off, so I might as well have that. Like. I can't justify a 970 and I can't justify a 980 Ti either. I don't get this. It's meant to vibrate. Alright, I see. I see. I see what vibrates. I see what vibrates. Raise the Tomb Raider download code. Yeah. So I'll probably gift that off. Because I got it. So if anyone wants it, they can have it. Hey, I'm in the safe. Ooh, money. Money, 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 money. Money. Current physical state, the mental state, several heaven.
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
I'll turn away so you can't see.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
So that's that done then.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Year and a half ago? Okay, so that's done. What else do I have to do?
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
Yeah, I think somebody's talking bullshit about this. The robbery was fake. The whole story was invented in order to blame that. I reckon it's that one. Personally, just from bits and pieces so far. What was that one I wanted? I'm getting the feeling that the maid killed him. I got a feeling that the maid and they're somehow related. I don't know. I can't work it out. I'll leave it on that one for now. Is there anything else we can do? No. Okay. two of them did. I don't know. There's something I'm missing.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
I don't think there's anything else in here. Done that. Done that. Anything else in here? Back it up. Anything with you? Nope. Okay. Let's go to the other room. Let's talk to Lestrade.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments, he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight.
Wow.
Another day, he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
A scandal? Oh. Oh dear.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Yes, Watson. Now, what I was going to do is go outside and have a cup of tea. Stupid it.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
The plot thickens.
A fur trader's cabin. So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
That must be the murder weapon.
Must be. It either is or it isn't.
The head was cracked with the force of the blow. Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
She got dead body. There we go. Process of elimination. Death of Eustace due to accidentally striking his head on the fireplace. I'm not seeing that. Oops. No, I didn't want to come out. Damn it. That's usually could have been due to an accidentally striking on the head of the fireplace. I'm gonna leave it as that for a minute, because that's what I think. That's what this is my path of thinking. Right, let's get out of this then. Okay.
A deer hunt.
Interesting. Interesting. Everything's broken.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
Indeed.
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
Get something else here.
A bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house.
Yeah.
They only took a little silverware. The hunting scene.
Something doesn't smell right. Something's not right.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail.
We need
I will
Toby!
take it with me.
We need Toby! We get Toby in a bit now.
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
I think the case is closed definitely. There's two ladies coming on once. And let's get pizza. Pizza! Don't start with pizza. Oops. I'm not doing that.
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
Indeed. The plot thickens. Okay, let's go get Toby. Let's go get the dog. Let's go get the hound. Where's the dog? There he is. Go on, Toby.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Come on, doggy. Let's roll. One dog. One woof woof.
Search, Toby.
Go find. Oh, with the dog! With the dog! Way! Whee!
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
The shed? The shed? What the heck are they doing in the shed? Woof. Woofty woof.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
should check it. Go on then. How to fucking check it? Obviously not. I got more to do this way.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
The plot thickens.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
That's not rocket science.
I need a hook.
How do I get out to this?
If only I had something with which I could lift that object.
How do I get out to there? Oh, there we go. I got an idea. Let's go to the shed. So it's in the shed. I'll do.
This hook might be useful. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
Interesting. Right. Back to the well. Oh, hello. Hello.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
Hello,
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Not very stolen. Doesn't look very stolen to me. Leave it as that for a minute. Let's see what else we got. Chronos and red silverware found. Oh yeah. Something tells me I'm getting close. So this is murdered by one person who was visiting last night. Maybe. Maybe. There's nothing else there. I think there's somebody else involved somehow. I don't know why. There's definitely somebody there. It's because the rope, height-wise, they're not high enough.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Worried now, are you left?
Your ladyship?
Are you worried? You should be.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Oh yeah. Read the plot thickens, man. The plot thickens. Right then. Open the door.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place. Or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Indeed. Solve it we shall. I think. We'll try. That's what I wanted to go. Experiment. That's what we gotta go do. That's what I wanted to do. Baker Street. Woohoo! Three rooms, a garden, shed, and the dog is with us. Doggy! Dobby! Let's go over here and investigate.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Sweet! Dun dun dun! The rope was cut once with a sharp knife and tied quickly in sailor's knots. That would indicate the intruder had a sailor's background. The plot thickens. The person who was visiting that night was probably a sailor. Look for a sailor. I can't go Wiggins. How do I get that one? Search for possible sailors. Wait a minute. Oh no, he's over
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
there. You don't. Another one, I gotta deal with it.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
Yeah. Right. Talking shit one. I'm missing something. What am I missing? Cheston.
A fur trader's cabin.
Why can I hear the dog, but I can't see the dog? So how do you find a sailor without finding a sailor? Interesting. Ah, that's why. Dirt. Dirt. Back there. I knows why. Archives. La 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 la. Bulk, Southampton, India, New Zealand, ship, England, Miss Fraser. To England, Miss Fraser, Paris. And 10 mines, Australia reported young lady. Interesting.
Here it is.
We have it. Task for Wiggins. I was wondering when
The
Wiggins
shipping
would be
company,
back.
the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Oh yeah. Let's call Wiggins. Wiggins!
Wiggins, would you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3 hours later.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Ah, la 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 la. Where's the table? This way. Love the fact
This
goes
list
table.
shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Let's see. Departed Australia in 1894. So arrived in England on the 12th, so it's not that one. 1885, 1895. Well, that's kind of like nope. That one's also nope. Arrival in England. Right, okay. The 17th. It's technically this list.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Yeah, he wasn't here. So we crossed that guy off. William.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Good. Right, next page. 10th of November, so technically it's somebody on this list then.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Aha! Aha! Right, okay, let's have a look at the others. Walker.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Get rid of that one.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Another one crossed off.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
That's another one. Missing one name. Why am I missing a name too? Thomas Walker. Thomas Walker. Ah, there it is.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Dun dun dun. I think we have our guy.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
Right then. Talk to Wiggins.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Soon understand why, man with the beard. Beard! Arr! Arr! Sorry. Sorry. Could do a headphone rip. He's honest, apparently. A knife. What the heck is that? Sun just there we go. What's that? Oh. Boots. Clean boots. There we go. I got it. Mike went full on sailor. I know. Oops.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how
dare you?
reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right, if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Sailor's knot.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Ooh, he's been a wise ass.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
So that will give us this, but I don't know if it is that. If I'm honest, I don't know. I don't like his alibi. I don't like it. Everything points to him. But I don't know if it's that simple. This is a hard one. No, I think that the husband did hit, but no, I'm gonna go with that. I don't know. It's something about it. I'm going to absolve it. I'm going to do this and we'll see. Let's see.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
Oh my
It
god!
is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Dum dum dum! Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Oh my god. W! W! Ah! Wow, wasn't expecting that. Wow.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations.
Wow, wasn't
See
expecting
here,
that.
Captain Crocker. We'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
So is it right though? That's the question. We've done all that, but is it right?
Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Is it right? Is it right? Yay! It's green! It's green! Yeah! Accept the decision. Oh yeah. People solved the case in the same way, 93%. People who made the same moral choice, 65%. Never mind then. It wasn't them two ladies. But they were lying. Chucky, I was right about that. They were lying. It just didn't add up.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Theft of plants. Wow. That sounds exciting. And not. Frickin' bees, really. We have mail. We have mail. Yeah. Holmes is random. Holmes? Yeah. It's like, what? What the hell is Holmes? What is this language you speak? No, that way. Oh, hang on. Nope, can't have that yet. I want the stick back inside. I will stick with it. What the frack? Go back. Thank you. And back out. Come on, I'm stuck on a chair. Blah, 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 blah. Bees everywhere. Really annoying.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Language, bit of Brazilian, bit of German, touch of English, and plus a bit of craziness equals me. Right. Junkie. Right. Whatever you say.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Oh, Bravian.
Here it
Whatever.
is. This is the place where the stolen plants
I was
were
looking at it quickly.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
Do we? Do we understand? No. Do I look like I understand? Nope. Balloons! They look pathetic!
Do not touch.
Do not touch. It's fuck all there.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
That's a lot of plants to walk out with, you know?
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Watson, get out my way!
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
Let's have a look.
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
Staggered? Staggered.
Blood.
How perceptive.
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. Soil. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
Interesting.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. The esconsson was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
F. So what's the sequence?
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact.
Oh, Shaggy.
Montague Dunn damaged the door
Enjoy.
of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
That is the question.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
Search the archives for plants. Sound the Colonial Collection Room. Look these up.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire. Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent.
Stone ship.
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
From a statue. The plot thickens.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Interesting. From an autopsy. Oh, great. That's never fun. Let's go to Big Street first, then to Scotland Yard. To the archives. What do I need? Plants.
Here it is.
I have it. I think.
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have you found something interesting?
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
I said eat. Whatever it is you're eating. Let's go to an autopsy. If you're squeamish, be warned.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy, then.
Stuff in here. Let's have a nose.
This watch is of great value. A beautiful feather pen of a good make. A membership card for the London Crest Club.
Posters. Conventional stuff. Okay. Let's go down into the morgue. Here we go.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
Interesting. Let's have a look at the hand.
Nothing suspicious here. No redness, stings, or bruises. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
Here we go. If you're squeamish, look away now. Because you're going to look inside. And pull things out. There we go. This is what we got. We're going to pull all this stuff out. Let's pull out the liver. Let's have a look.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
Back in it goes. The stomach.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
No, I don't want that. I just had that. Go away. The lungs.
The lungs are congested and edematous. The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
The heart.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
There you go. Complete.
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean...
Yes, it is murder.
We should inform Lestrade.
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish, and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs.
Yeah,
yes,
delve
Watson.
into personal
It
affairs.
is time now to open the doors.
Oh, crap.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
More than a little. B. Poisoning deadly plants. The killers struggling exactly talking. That doesn't sound good at all. Poisoning deadly plants. After being trapped in the colonial garden room, everyone's affected by inhaling some. Yeah. Right, those don't go together. Let's get out of there. Onward! Onward!
Locked.
Huh? Worth the try. Gardens. We have arrived. Now answer the questions.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, oh, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Relationship.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
His lifestyle? What?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and...
And...
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
We shall continue indeed.
Locked.
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 Everything's frickin' locked.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Let's go.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here?
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Colonial collection.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Really? Relationship with your father?
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path. I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Interesting.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the Deputy Director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honor of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Right then. Next. Door keys. Can I have the keys, please?
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Well, I don't know.
Thank you, young
Maybe
man.
I don't understand.
We shall see you again soon.
Maybe I don't want to understand. That's what I'm going to say. we have keys. What is this? Franklin statue, marble picked up from the floor. So we need to find that statue as well. And we have keys. See if these keys open these doors. Oh yeah. Oop. Tea.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Toby! Welcome back, Junkie. We gotta get Toby in a minute, once I've done my search.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes. A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
What happened so far?
Yes,
we've
this is
discovered
quite
that it's a
modern
murder.
laboratory.
We've got keys now, so we can open this room. And we're now investigating a murder.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Reports. Evidence required. Evidence required for what? From where? Oh, let's have a look in the cupboard.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments. A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Albert. Ooh, there's more of those. Oh no, you can't get those. It's a bit boring. Can't have those, eh?
The employee's cloakroom.
Anything else in here I gotta do? Let's have a look in here.
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Of course you do. That didn't take a rocket genius to work that out.
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Yeah, we're gonna open it anyway. Lol. Right. Rotate. Rotate all. Right. Rotate all. go. One lock.
Open.
Open sesame. We're going in anyway. Let's have a nose. Who's this? Miss White's locker.
Miss White's locker. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Interesting. Jewel box.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Interesting. She's broke, but has that. Right, okay.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
You're surprised to receive your letter. Why would you think of us after all these years you passed since the thought? Never shared any details of your success. It's was ashamed. High class. Another letter? Oh dear. I think somebody's in like somebody else. Right, what's B? Something in here to have a look at. Hee hee. No, I know which one it is anyway. Oh, come on, you stupid frick. Really? I sworn that was out. Huh. Maybe not then. Could have sworn that was something to do with studies. Maybe not then. Let's have another look over here. What we got? Hamish.
Martin Hamish's locker. Father and I. Kew Gardens.
Interesting. We'll have that.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Interesting. Letter, please. Thank you. Open up. Recent events unfolding. Actually, the position already the previous letters are believed known as the resolution. Stand by and allow it. Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
So nothing much in there.
Albert's locker.
Albert.
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University. Young Albert. Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Interesting.
A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Quite to inform you that despite the excellent results within the exam, we are unable to invite you. Mr. Dora has expressed an intention to entrust you with the directorship of the gardens. Oh dear. safe. Oh, crap. Oh, this doesn't look easy. Beaver's in the house. Yo, man. Hey, Beaver. Not too bad, man. Just trying to work this thing out. I think I got the. I think I know which way the pattern's going. Oh, damn it. Okay, it's not. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah! Good, thanks. A lot of things to do. So I'll be lurking and listening to the stream if you don't mind. Yeah, no problems. Look away. I need a look, man. It just goes, this person is lurking. So just want to read in the last letter. Right, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your letter. I am paying you to defeat them, accuse me of Q guns, blah blah blah. Divine Syndicate. A new person in the mix. So don't really ask you the last time to return our dear sisters. Commissions are holy then. What have you done acquaintance? Interesting.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Right to other streets of the Ashford, the education scholarship. Credits opened in Hamilton, Regent House, Taylor's at the Birds and Luxury Jewelers. Freaking hell. Oof. Right, let's have a look. No? So I studied sorcery is completely dependent on Montague's wealth. Seems that way. Let's get out of there. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? Come out here for a minute. I'm going to create something. Look. Crap. Where is it? Tags. Yeah, I'm doing look, mans. Watch this now. Sender is now in lurk mode. Tut. Tut. Okay, and unlurk. Oops, I can't spell. Sender. And that one. Yeah, Phantom Bot. Beaver. Okay. So we got some new commands. There we go. So we have lurk and unlurk. So exclamation mark lurk gives you that. And then you'll have unlurk then when you get back. I gotta put a cooldown on those later, but we'll leave it like that for now. Sweet. There we go. Something new for you to play with. Right, back to here. Right, where were we?
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Interesting, I think. That's interesting.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
See, that interests me. Police announced the successful production of a new variety of barley. There must be something else here. Oh, there we go. Reynold. What? Get him into jail before he creates his company. Said Margaret. Believe it will waste a position at Kew Gardens. A part of the plenty that no longer need my support. You're quite able to stand up for yourself in this way. I'd like to give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Interesting. Interesting. So, yeah. So we have some dialogues to do. We still have to find a use for this. We also have to find out about the Divine Syndicate. And we have some extra things in the Buddha. Let's have a look. White's expulsion. No? Really? Ah, there we go. Mrs. White must have done a recent disagreement. I was planning to release from her position at Kew Gardens. Okay, let's continue. Champagne?
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste. French wine. A remarkable vintage.
No relevance then, I'm assuming. I'm stuck on something. Like, is there anything else in here that I can see? No.
Colonial collection. Nursery. Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory. Reserve. Palm house. Water lily greenhouse. Dry tropics. Seed house. Ventilation system. A map of Kew Gardens.
There we go. That's complete. Let's have a chat.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany.
Great talent?
You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Let's see. Kew Gardens.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
All lies.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to...
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father.
I don't believe the guy.
So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
He's not even the freaking director. You know what I mean? It's got a lot of points in this one, I can tell you. It's going to take a while. Let's go have a look around here then. Just going to have a look at the nose. We're looking for a plant. Oh, we need Toby as well, apparently. Hang out the place. So I might go and get Toby actually. Thinking about it. Toby! You chewing paper again?
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Let's see what the dog's going to find.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search.
Toby's on the move. Dig, 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 dig.
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes, a tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Indeed. Gotta perform some tests. Still gotta do that one. We got some dialogue to do with... Excuse me, what? Got him to talk to. Then it's back to the other place.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Albert's hopes, fragments, statues, keys, stone plant list. There you go.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say.
No, I just
Yes,
opened the
that's
door
correct.
and I had a
And in
nose.
fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Dream away. Oh, let's put this jacket on. Did I just drop on the floor? Hearing things? I think I'm hearing things, man. Right, we need to go back to the home and do these tests and that bit of research. So we need to go back to Baker Street. Baker Street. Baker Street. Okay, let's go here. So what do we need to try and find out who they are? Divine Syndicate, there they are. Syndicate follows a group. More plants. Something to do with plants. Seems persons of influence. Political. Okay. E.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
So we have that one. Done that one. So we've got a new map location. So, let's do our experiment.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Let's vaporize it. Yeah, let's stick it over the heat.
Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you.
There we go.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Someone. Interesting. So just ask more questions. I got a new thing to go to. So let's go to the Divine Syndicate. Dum dum dum. Continue.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Guy in the weird circle, maybe. Stalker.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
Disturbed, man. Disturbed.
Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic? Himself?
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Right then, let's do this. Tattoo? Going down. Chemical practice? Fingertip calluses. Let's ask the question.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate, glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
That one.
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh la, good, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Oh. We got another key. I like keys. Right, let's go and have a look over here, because I want to know other places. Just feel like having a nose. Ooh, bless me. Tea. So what's here then? Hang on.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. A fragment of a flower pot.
Let's have a look at flower pots. Nothing interesting there. Nothing really. Oh, hang on.
The Kew Gardens symbol.
Interesting. Interesting. Go inside.
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of. It is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
Cocaine! Cocaine, there's drugs! Drugs, man! Drugs!
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
What the frack?
This must be Treewan, the Divine Syndicate's god. This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
Yay, more lock puzzles. So brilliant. Okay. Planet Coaster has an update. It's always got updates. There we go. Lock undone.
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
Opium, more drugs, man. Drugs. Drugs, man.
That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens.
Interesting. Very interesting. Let's have a look.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Nothing of interest. So can you?
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest. A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Let's have a look in here then.
These three plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
B. Suspicious ingredients. What's up here? Set up an alkaline from a chemical laboratory. Caterpillars perform an experiment with the deadly plants. So you got an experiment to do. I just wanted to kill the father. It's possible. Okay. So we got an experiment to do as well.
Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
Back to Baker Street. the frick is he doing? Dear God. There are no words.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
Where's this one then?
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
Oh, I gotta move that plant. I got an idea. Yeah, I can see what I got. Take. Oh no. Take it. Swap. There we go.
This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
Huh?
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. No reaction. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
What the frack's I gotta do anything? Oh, there we go.
Toxic gas with spores.
I got it.
Extraordinary.
Well, them plants just... yeah, they do.
The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Indeed. I don't know. Just leave it like that for a minute. Got Alberts as well. Okay, there we go. More dots to add. Ooh! Creepy fuck. Wood. Let's have a chat.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
Funny junkie, funny junkie.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Late?
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Interesting. Albert.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
Interesting.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. Harm House.
Sweet.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Interesting.
Water lily greenhouse.
Oh.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Let's have a look. Aha. Back here.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Take the other door.
Water lily greenhouse.
Sacks. Anything interesting over here? Nope.
Dry tropics.
Dry tropics, man. Watch out, creepy.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Pots.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Interesting. So it tells me we gotta go and find out what that symbol is.
Dry tropics.
Where am I stuck? Oh. Nothing unusual in here. Oh, flip now. Fire.
There is a smell of burning.
Already seen it. It's fucking slow on the uptake. Salmon.
This symbol is from the Divine Syndicate. A protective mask.
Interesting.
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. A broom handle was half burned. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned. The remains of a picture frame.
Interesting. A woman just walking down
Look,
there?
Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Why am I stuck? Oh.
A map of Kew Gardens.
Object of interest. Why is this an object of interest?
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings. A water tank.
A lot of pots.
Seed house. Open.
Just gotta talk to this woman.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens.
Why would the gate scare you?
Are you working on a case?
Junkie scared of a gate? Really? A gate? Interesting. Theft of plants.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
How can you forget?
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
I was building a roller coaster and that noise. The Jesus. Oh dear.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Relationship.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Interesting.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
Time of the death.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house. I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
320. Interesting.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Yeah.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
F.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
Let's go do a ventilation experiment.
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
Okay, let's go.
The power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Gonna get something on his head, don't I?
Before I activate the fan, I need to check if the interior of the Colonial Collection Room can be seen from here. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection
there's
Room
Watson.
from this window. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out. By activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Very interesting. Okay. Oops.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing. But it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition. A glasses case. It is empty. A thesis, written by Martin Hamish. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Can't see that.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system. An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish. These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Oh, I think I found it.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Oh, wait.
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit. Here it is.
We found
the marble
it.
fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection room is what they have in common. The seeds of plant species are stored here.
What am I missing?
Nursery. Colonial Collection. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. This place serves as Albert's office.
Albert? Seeds. That's here. I gotta do dialogue about this flower pot. So let's go find out what the symbol is. So let's go back to, oops, big street. Find out that one. Search for symbols. Marks and symbols.
That is not the one I need.
Oops. There we go.
Here it is.
Dialogue. Okay. Map. Dum 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 dum.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search? Sacrilege.
Oh, really now? There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago. And we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet, you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
God, how many dots are in this, man? Leave it at that one for a minute. Let's see what this says. Martin Hamish could be the killer. He had the opportunity to steal the Divine Syndicate's plans, simulate them, his workplace, and directly checked. Arrest Martin Hamish. Effect arrest. Interesting.
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
Indeed. It is a big case indeed. This is true. A lot of variables in this one.
A very good day to you, my friend. Is Inspector Lestrade in?
The inspector's waiting for you in his office.
Thank you very much. Stuck in the pole. Hey, we're in his
Inspector,
office.
I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
Sometime later. Where am I traveling to?
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
Arrest. Okay. Tab. Yay! Giant software gave. Oh, they got. They give you what for Steam or for the normal game? Because I got two. I got two keys. I got one for Steam, and I also have the one that's running on my dedicated server at the moment, which is not a Steam key, which is actually running my farm sim server at the moment, which it seems to be pretty stable. Chat. Large greenhouse. Which one was the freaking large one? Oh, for Christ's sake. Which one was the large one? It's good so far. Come through. From the normal one. Right, okay. Let's go this way.
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
Nice one, John. You can have a look at that potato washer doodah, which I've been wanting to use for a while. I miss my potato
Holmes,
washer.
my God!
Oh, we did.
Yes. We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
Another plot twist. Examine the body. Life has become a living hell. I find it unbearable that I deserve to die. But I cannot forgive myself for having his blood upon my hands. Farewell.
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Interesting. Examination body. B. Martin Hamish are unable to run due to the clubfoot, therefore should find out if he had sufficient time to lock the door of the colonial room. So begs another question. Discuss with Lestrade the possible impact of new clues on the body of Martin Hamish. Flipping out. There's just more and more bits coming to this now.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct.
Questionable
Mr.
in
Hamish
this statement?
accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Oh.
Precisely.
Timeline.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Martin Hamish went to meet Albert in the Cedar at 9:30. Martin Hamish. How does this work? Oh, alright, I'll play the events first. Martin Hamish had dialogue with Albert in the Seed House. I don't get this. So I can't do anything with it, can I? Oh. Martin Hamish wanted to meet Albert in the Seed House. Right. Okay. Yes. It was around 20 minutes to 10 when Hamish and Montague Dunn went out to the backyard. To the yard. And after 10 minutes, Dunn recommended his inspection. After 10 minutes, Dunn recommenced his inspection and entered the dry topics room. Hamish returned to the Seed House. Play the event. laboratory until 10:40, when we saw Hamish and Albert in the water lily greenhouse. Bart and Hamish had a conversation with Miss White. A laboratory. That's wrong. Till 10:40. Hamish ran to Albert as soon as he observed somewhere at 10:30. Hamish ran to Albert as soon as he observed. Albert was in the seed house the entire morning. He observed Hamish returning, visiting his wife. Let's have a look at this. It's wrong. Albert was in the scene house the entire morning. Till 10 minutes past 10. Play that one. Right. Hamish ran to Albert soon after he observed. Interesting. There we go.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time.
Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Interesting. Oh, this is not easy at all. The only person that I can think of is her. Or him. Really? Did he kill his own father? Oh no, I don't want to skip. No. Oh, for God's sake.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time.
Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Indeed. This is true. She could. Interesting.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
think it's white, but I could be wrong.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
I think it's white, but I could be wrong. So it's a dangerous woman, very careful account of an elaborate murder. Let's see.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
Thinking.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
W.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Worse. I was right! Yes! 22 out of 22 clues. It's in the green. Wow, that was a long one. Let's accept the decision. Case statistics. People solved the case in the same way, 90%. People made the same choice, put her to death, 75%. Wow. She was one heck of a cold bitch. That's all I'm saying to that. Wow. That's all I'm saying to that. Wow. That is remarkable. So then, I'm going to call it there for about an hour. Because I need some food. Because I'm hungry. And I gotta go and cook it. And I can't cook it while I'm streaming. Because it's impossible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in an hour. We'll either continue Sherlock. Or if you've got any ideas of something else to play, like, say, Max Payne 3 or Trucking or something, drop it in chat, I'll see it anyway. Or if you're on Discord, you can put it in there. I've cut my hand on something. So yeah, I'm going to call it there for now. And then I'll be back in about an hour. Food, pizza, bacon, cookies. I got bacon. I already got bacon in the fridge. I got Chinese as well. So like, I can either have the bacon, like bacon sandwiches, or I can have Chinese. Haven't decided. Might keep the Chinese for tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna call it and say back in an hour. Hour and a half at the most, maybe. So okay, peace out. Catch you in a bit. Nice seeing you again. Ta-ta. Peace out.